Hello racing fans and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSB. Well, 2 race meetings this weekend. We race at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth on Saturday the 24th. And then it's a massive day for the KZN breeders. It's their race day on Sunday the 25th at Greyville. And it is a bonanza day as well because they've added a sweetener to the pick 6 of a carryover of 500,000. That estimated pool is 3 million rand. Well, I trust that you had a fair week. I'm looking forward to this weekend and hopefully everything goes according to plan. Of course, it's now hotting up. We've had the final field announcement for the 2023 Hollywood Bets Durban July. We've seen the gallops on Thursday as well. And there'll be a lot of discussions and card calls, etc. around the country. The World Sports Betting card call takes place on Wednesday, the 28th of June. And you are, should I say that you are going to be getting the best prices in town on that card call. Let's get straight into it. I've got 4 horses to follow. We've got 3 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. And those 4 horses will begin in race number 4 at Kenilworth. Of course, we have to touch on it. We know that they've had terrible, horrible weather down in the Western Cape that's just played havoc with the racing and everything else in the city and around the city. And we wish everybody in the Western Cape that's been affected by these floods well. And hopefully, everything comes back to normality sooner rather than later. But with regards to racing, well, there was a race meeting on Thursday at Kenilworth, and we saw that some horses enjoyed the conditions, others didn't. With those interrupted preps, certain horses are going to be affected less, and certain horses are going to be affected more by the work that they need to peak fitness. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. I suspect that the going will come up as soft, but we'll wait for the final declarations, card changes, and of course the weather and track report on Saturday. But let's begin with our 4 horses to follow on. We'll begin in race number 4. It's a winter sprint over 1,200 meters. And in this race, I'm going with the class horse, the horse that tops the best weighted column in Bereave at a 117, the son of Versen Ketrix. Now, we know how talented he is. He's already a 5-time winner from just 17 starts. He's won over the course and distance. In fact, his course and distance record reads 9 starts, 2 wins, and 7 places. So he's deadly over 1,200 meters at Kenilworth. He's got the scalp of the mighty Gimme a Prince in his form line. I say the mighty Gimme a Prince because he is very highly rated by both Keegan DeMello and Dean Canamere. We saw him come out to win the Golden Horse Sprint in fantastic fashion. And the number 4 Bereave did beat him at his penultimate start. And then last time out, he ran a good race. This was Bereave behind another talented sprinter in Rio Carrari. And even though he's carrying 61.5 kgs, I think class would prevail here. When it comes to fitness, we mentioned it's a level playing field with most of the trainers down in Cape Town with work that they put into his horses. But with sprinters, more than 1,600 meters and 2,000 meters, once you start going over distance races, you need to get the work in because it's all about fitness and trying to put that stamina in. But with sprinters, they're just natural athletes that know how to run and know how to race, and they know how to go quick. So you just have to keep them ticking over. Hopefully they're well. And this horse, Bereave, and Adam Marcus has got him close to 90% ready for this race. I would suspect against this type of field, they are expecting him to win. So I'm going to go with confidence there, race number 4, horse number 4, Bereave. Then we move on to race number 5. Now, with the card scratchings of 4, 8, and 9, it's only a field of 6 that go to post. Of course, Distant Winter was the important scratching. She races on July Day. She'll take her place in the Golden Slipper, where, she will take on some of the best of her generation. And we'll see how she fares because she has done little wrong in her career, Distant Winter. And with her out of the race, I think now the door is left wide open for number 3. Baltic Secret, Justin Snaith's runner, who was a facile winner on debut. She was actually in a race of her own that day. She really made it look very easy, very simple. just natural pace, nasty speed, and she just ran away from the opposition. And then last time out in that winter juvenile stakes, I actually expected a bit better from her. I must admit, Distant Winter was a fantastic winner of that race, but I expected this filly to pretty much challenge for that top spot or even win it. And things did not go away in the running, so she didn't have the best of luck in running. But nevertheless, she ran a decent fought. She was beaten under 2 lengths in the small field. And trying to analyze the opposition that she takes on with her sex allowance carrying 56 kgs. I think that she's the right horse in the race, and it wouldn't surprise me if she is priced up in the red. Race 5, number 3, to see. Then on to race number 8. Now, race number 8 is the Pocket Power Stakes, Group 3, sponsored by World Sports Betting. In fact, it's a big day for our sponsor, World Sports Betting. Let's have a look at the races that they sponsor. Of course, there'll be the World Sports Betting Storms Place Stakes, which is race number 7 over 1,800 meters, and the World Sports Betting Pocket Power Stakes, which is Group 3. And then I see a few of the other races named after our sponsor, World Sports Betting. So it's a big afternoon for the sponsor. We wish them all the best. But coming back to race number 8. Now, this horse, I was just kicking myself after he won last time out. I was waiting for this horse to come out because he really showed that he's got the ability as a 3-year-old. But his first start early in the season as a 4-year-old, that's the day he caught my eye in a big, big way, the way he finished off his race. And I knew he was coming off that long break last time out, which was on the 4th of June. But the one thing that I was waiting for on that day is that the way the conditions were going to be going, he was going to love the bus. He really comes alive in the soft track. But what happened is I was just watching the racing that day, and it was stop, start, with the rain and delays, and the weather was so bad. I mean, when those jockeys were coming in for those interviews, you couldn't recognize some of them, the kickback that they had. And they hadn't know that, Kenilworth has got one of the best drainage systems in the country. But coming back to this horse, top quality, I was waiting for him, and then I suddenly went cold, and I let it go. I didn't get any of that 12-1 when he drifted out in the betting. As you'd recall, if you watched racing that day, after this horse's race, which was the 5th race on the day, they abandoned the balance of the meeting. That's how bad the conditions turned out to be with the weather, etc. But this horse, he came out fresh, he came out well, and he just loved it in the rain, and he loved the soft track on the day, and he won very easily. I think he won easier than the margin suggests. That horse would have brought, that race would have brought him on a ton. And with the type of weather they've been having in Cape Town, I think conditions will be ideal for him on Saturday. And I think he'll be hard to beat. Race 8, number 5, top quality. So we've got our 3 horses at Kenilworth on Saturday. Now just the one run-up at Greyville on Sunday, and it comes up in the main event, the KwaZulu-Natal Breeders' Mile, for a stake of 600,000, of which the winner will take home 375,000 rand. We wish the KZN Breeders all the best on their race day. Always a popular race meeting, one meeting prior to the running of the Hollywood Bets Durban July. Well, race number 7, the horse's name is MK's Pride. Well, we know how talented he is. He's looking for double figures now. He's a 9-time winner from 29 starts. He's earned in excess of 2,300,000 in stakes for his very passionate owner, Mr. Koos in Kale. What a horse this was for Mr. Koos in Kale, just to get things started off for him as an owner. He's given him so much of joy and so much of success. And we know that he's best over 12 and 1,400 meters at 14.50. In fact, he's absolutely deadly over 1,400 and 1,450 meters. But that said, he's run some brilliant races, some outstanding races over 1,600 meters. The one race that comes to mind is the 2022 HF Oppenheimer Horse Chestnut Stakes that he won. He beat horses like Petro Manzana and Comet Ding, and he really raised his game that day to win a group race. So he is a Group 1 winner over 1,600 meters. And then you go back to 2022 when he ran in the Hollywood Bets Gold Challenge. He ran a creditable tour behind Al Mutana. He's at places as a 3-year-old in the Guineas. I think he ran 5th in the Guineas, if I'm not mistaken. He was in a place just behind the likes of Linebacker. But he's run places in the Honor Mission Mile behind the like of Bengwa. So he's a talented horse over 1,600 meters. And this season, that one run that will put me in his favor, if he repeats that run, he wins. And that was his second in the HF Oppenheimer horse Chestnut behind Trip of Fortune. A tremendous effort with him. When he gets to the front and he just bowls in front, he's got that low head carriage. He's an eye-catching horse when he races. And when he has things his own way, he seldom tires and he can run all the way to the line. He's earned his rating of 122, and all you need to do is look at the best weighted column. MK's Pride, a 122. The next best is Battle Force at a 107. Captain Casey at a 103. Laguna Verde at a 102. And then Noble City, the up-and-coming horse, at a 101. So if he runs anywhere near his rating and runs to the form that he did in the HF Oppenheimer horse Chestnut to Trip of Fortune, it'll take a very good horse to beat it. I'm going very confident here with MK's Pride. I know it is a competitive field, but just on his rating and the weights and the fact that he can do exceptionally well over a mile, I think he is the horse to beat. Race 7, number 6, MK's Pride. And that's it, guys. You've got your 4 horses to follow. I wish you all the best over this weekend. And of course, the lead up to Africa's greatest horse racing event, the Hollywood Bets Durban July. Next week, we'll do a bumper show, and hopefully we can find the winner of the 2023 Hollywood Bets Durban July. To you, the racing fan, as always, thanks for your valued support and your continued support. It's really appreciated. And to all the punters out there, all the best over the weekend. Hopefully, it turns out to be the weekend that you can make a sizable profit and have enough money for those big pools that will be coming up on the first Saturday of July. I'm the entire team at World Sports Betting, myself, Deez Dayanand. Until we meet again, you take care. Saturday, guys.